Federal government sacks advertising standard panel over all eyes on the election tribunal judges billboard. Wow. So what is happening here? Now, we understand how a billboard was erected in Abuja that shows all eyes on the election tribunal judges. And this is the second of its type. The first one, where we had all eyes on judiciary, was erected in Benin City, Edo State. But this Abuja own was erected by they call themselves Diaspora for Good Governance, DGG, in Abuja. And it was also known that these people are supporters of Peter Obi and the Labour Party. And that was erected as Nigerians await the judgment of the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal that is to come sometime in third week of September. There has been tension in the land as to how the judgment will go, what the judgment will look like, as to what the position of the judges will be, and everybody is saying it is time for the judiciary to redeem their name once again, to give the judgment as expected by Nigerians, because we all know who won the election and who did not win the election. Okay, so but this billboard was finally torn apart and removed in Abuja by federal government officials. And now we are getting the news here that the advertising board in Abuja, which is called Advertising Standard Panel, okay, has been, as a contractor, has been sacked by federal government for allowing that billboard to be erected, for permitting that billboard to be erected, even though the people paid. This is a very serious one. And one of Articles 8 is saying destruction of billboards and assault on freedom of speech. Exactly. So this shows that that billboard was removed by government of APC and government of Tinubu because they felt it's Obi's influence that led to that board being erected. Quite unfortunate. That is coming from a government that preaches democracy, that wants to go to Niger Republic to reinstate democratic rule. Who are we deceiving? As Nigerians eagerly await the judgment of the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal, the federal government has moved against those calling on the tribunal to deliver justice. On Tuesday, the federal government dissolved the Secretariat of the Advertising Standard Panel, ASP, over its approval of billboards, which it claimed is blackmailing the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal with the title, All Eyes on the Election Tribunal Judges. Now, the billboard with the hashtag, All Eyes on Election, can you imagine? Hashtag AII can you imagine? The Election Tribunal Judges. Okay, all eyes on the Election Tribunal Judges, that's the hashtag, was sponsored by a group called Diasporas for Good Governance, DGG. The ASP is a statutory panel under the council charged with the duty of ensuring that the advertisements conform to the prevailing laws of the federation, as well as the code of advertising ethics of the advertising profession. Okay, so it's an arm of the government. A statement by the Director General of the Advertising Regulatory Council of Nigeria, ACON, Dr. Olalekan Fadolapo, confirmed the dissolution of the panel. Fadolapo said the council has also suspended its director and deputy director in charge of regulations to allow investigation into the issue. It said the attention of the Advertising Regulatory Council of Nigeria, ACON, has been drawn to the All Eyes on the Judiciary advertisement exposed on some billboards across the country. The Advertising Standard Panel of the Council also erred in the approval of one of the concepts, as the advertisement failed to vet guidelines on the following grounds. The cost forming the central theme of the campaign in the advertisement is a matter pending before the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal. Hence, it is just pending. A matter being just pending and awaiting judicial pronouncement is by virtue of the Nigerian legal system, precluded from being a subject of public statement, debate, discussion, advertisement, etc. The advertisement is controversial and capable of instigating public unrest and breach of public peace. The advertisement is considered blackmail against the Nigerian Judiciary, the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal, and particularly the Honorable Justices of the Tribunal, who are expected to discharge their judicial functions without fear or favor over a matter that is currently just pending. The ACON DG said the council would set up a committee to investigate the circumstances leading to the erroneous approval of one of the concepts of the advert and the breach of the vetting guidelines. Can you imagine? Already, a lot of people have said that even though they have removed it, it is still in the heart of Nigerians. In a swift reaction, Frank Shaibu, the Special Assistant on Public Communications to the presidential candidate of the People Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar, described the federal government action as clear evidence of Bola Tinubu's authoritarianism and assault on freedom of speech. Shaibu stated this in a statement issued on Tuesday. He said the entire incident reinforced the argument that election cases in court ought to be completed before beneficiaries of questionable elections are inaugurated. Shaibu stressed that ACON had already begun acting like the Lagos State Signage and Advertising Agency, LASA, which had built a reputation of denying Nigerians the right to carry advertisements which the Lagos State government deemed unfavorable. He noted that it was ironic that Tinubu claimed to be a Democrat and even boasted of funding the June 12th struggling, only for him to transform into an intolerant authoritarian after the election. Atiku's aide added that it was hypocritical for the same man to be championing democracy in Niger, while at the same time denying Nigerians the most basic form of democracy, which includes freedom of speech and expression. Shaibu noted that Tinubu has once again put his dictatorial tendency on public display. How has a simple message that says all eyes on the judiciary suddenly become offensive? This is a clear case of abuse of office. Abuse of office. Wow. This is a clear case of abuse of office and reinforces the argument that court cases ought to be concluded before inauguration so that beneficiaries of fraudulent elections would not be able to manipulate the system in their favor. He further wondered how a message like all eyes on the judiciary would translate into a threat to a society. Shaibu stressed the basic principle of social justice is about the people. The advertisers of the billboard only did what the norm is in civilized climes. So that's exactly what Shaibu is saying. So in any case, both Tinubu and the APC are therefore the same court. It is curious how they find this particular message upsetting. Anyway, even if they pull the billboard, they can never stop all eyes from being on the judiciary at this historic time. So it is obvious from what Chef Frank Shaibu is saying here that Tinubu is a dictator, and he has once again put forward his dictatorial tendency to the public. He's trying to run the federal advertising system like the way they run the advertisement system in Lagos State, where anything that is not favorable to the government or to APC is not allowed to be displayed or is not allowed to use the advertisement system. So this is actually very bad for a country like Nigeria. They will always find a reason to silence the opposition. That is the state of politics in Nigeria. Quite unfortunate. So this is what has happened at Abuja, and it's a bad omen on the side of the government. So thank you for listening. Let's have a comment to this action of federal government on sacking advertisement standard panel over allowing or approving the all eyes on the election tribunal judges billboard.